Morning, guys. Welcome to Seeds of Knowledge with Miss Deeds. Today I am going to get into the video where we're going to talk about what actually are toxins, because yesterday I talked about detoxification and I talked about the body and how it needs to be pH balanced, but a lot of people are probably like, well, what's toxic? What's toxins? How are we acquiring toxins? So on and so forth. So today I pulled up a list of the 50 worst toxins. This is just literally something I found online. I've been researching the chemicals in food and vaccines for 10 years now, and unfortunately it's horrible what is being put in our food and what is being put in our bodies. And so today I'm just going to kind of basically describe a little bit how the toxins get stuck in our body, and then read you some of this fancy little list here of toxins that are in our day-to-day things. So I've had a lot of rebuttals before, and I like to just throw this stuff out here is because, oh, these toxins are so minuscule, so on and so forth. They are minuscule, but if they're in every single thing that we're doing every single day, if they are in our pharmaceuticals, if they're in our Tylenol, if they're in our food, if they're in our breakfast, lunch, and dinner, if they're in our soaps, our shampoos, our body lotions, our deodorants, if they're in our everything, then the amount of poison and toxins we are taking in is not little. It's a lot. And that's what our body is actually showing us. Our body, through all these symptoms and ailments, this is what a body is telling us. The body is telling us that we are actually poisoned. Some low-level poisoning to very high-level poisoning. That's what the symptoms will show you based on what's going on in your body. So generally speaking, the body should detoxify the toxins that go in. But because of the society that we live in, what we're doing to our body, we're actually putting toxins at a very rapid rate in our bodies before we even have immune systems. And for those that aren't familiar, immune system is the one connected to the lymphatic system, as I mentioned yesterday, that drains into the colon, that eliminates the waste. We are not born with a functioning immune system. This is something we have known for hundreds of thousands of years. Breast milk is the immune system. Without breast milk, children do not have immune systems. There's no way of getting around it. This is not a debate on whether formula or whoever picks and chooses whatever. This is just the science. There is no immune system in a baby. And then there is no immune system without breast milk. So we are putting chemicals into our children very, very young, and ourselves and our parents did it to us, and we're doing it to our children, and not because we just want to harm them, but because we have no education on what's actually occurring. So before we even have immune systems, we are filled with toxins. So this already puts us at a debilitated rate of detoxification, meaning that we already have too many toxins in our body for our body to release. So we're already trying to fight an uphill battle from being very young. Then the next step is that it takes longer for our immune system to build because we aren't exclusively breastfeeding. It takes longer for the immune system to build because there's all these toxins in the body. So when we have toxins in the body as a child, we start to see different reactions throughout the children. And that starts with things like eczema as a baby, allergies, acid reflux for babies. This is all stuff that is due to the toxicity and imbalance that's going on in the body, whether it be just poisons or the fungal imbalances, or just the beginning of acidity, pH balance. The real thing here is our cells are all filters, and they all work in conjunction with fluidity and your immune system. And our cells as filters can only hold so much waste. So since we have been toxifying ourselves and our children since we were little, our cells are full. This is literally the easiest way to think of why toxins are in our body and how we can start to work at that. Every cell in your body is some type of filter. It is designed to have a function where it either moves things, transports things, gets things going, so on and so forth. We are not really designed to hold on to these toxins. The truth of the matter is fat cells, lipid cells, actually hold on to your toxins. So the more fat cells you have, the more toxins you have in your body. Once again, this is not a debate about weight or size. This is just simple science. So what we want to get down to doing is cleaning the cells. When I teach people to detox, we detox on all levels. We detox on, we start with the colon and physical. We do cellular cleansing. We do diet cleansing and purging. So you want to kind of incorporate all of this on the level. The reason toxins and toxicity stay in our body is because our cells are not functioning properly because they're overloaded with toxins. Then everything becomes stagnant. Then we start having reactions to things we shouldn't have reactions to. Food allergies, body allergies, eczema, acne, sinus infections, strep throat, sore throat, ear infections. This is all the beginning of our body telling us that we're not eliminating these toxins properly. So there are many modalities that we can use. One thing I teach people is if we were not using any of the modalities like foot detoxes and colon hydrotherapy and everything, if we really wanted to clean the body out, the way that we would do that would be to strip all toxins entering the body and only put in things that activate detoxification. And what that truthfully is herbs, spices, plants, and fruits. These are the only things that actually activate detoxification in the body. And a specific herb will help a specific organ help detoxify a specific ailment. So just to throw it out there, cilantro cleanses are great for heavy metal because cilantro is what has the frequency and the energy and the nutrients and vitamins that our body needs to eliminate heavy metals like mercury. Now, to do just a cilantro cleanse is pretty trying. I mean, it's pretty trying. So you do other modalities instead of just eating a whole bunch of cilantro. You do colonics, you do foot detoxes, you do sauna, you do this kind of stuff. So this is how we help to remove these toxins from our body. And we'll get into exactly the colon hydrotherapy and how that helps, foot detoxes, how that helps, far infrared heat, how that helps. And we'll get into like how each one's clean the cells. But what I want to do today is just really kind of give you a list on a daily basis of all the toxins that we're actually taking in and why eating organic and eating non-GMO is very important. So for those of you who are not familiar with what even GMO means, it's a genetically modified organism. Back in the late 80s, I think, or mid 80s, they started modifying foods. The whole point was to actually add vitamins and nutrients to make our food healthier based on its original composition. While I believe that was the original goal, today in 2019, GMO is something completely different, and genetically modified food is killing us. Why? Because we are not genetically modified. We are freaking born from this earth and created with everything that this earth is created with. We were not genetically created. We are not part plastic. We are not part fake chemicals and substances like this. So it is hurting our body. For those of you who don't know, Monsanto is the same company that created Agent Orange. Monsanto owns our seed supply here in America. For those of you who the bells aren't clicking, our food supply, all of our food supply is owned by a chemical company that created Agent Orange and also owns Roundup. Roundup has just been found in court to be causing cancer, and they're starting to make payouts for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and other cancers related to Roundup poisoning. Roundup glyphosate is in everything. It's in everything. It's in everything. It's in everything. Why? Because they spray everything. There is a reason that they wear those big, heavy chemical suits and then gas masks and everything when they spray it, because it is toxic. The other thing with GMOs that we have to also understand about our foods and everything that we're getting is that GMOs have been altered genetically in the cell of the seed itself. And for those of you who are kind of like, well, what does that really mean? Well, what that really means is the plants have become intolerant to the herbicide, and the bugs that they are trying to prevent from eating them have also become intolerant or started dying off in species, and then so on and so forth. What they've done now is taken and injected Roundup's herbicide, glyphosate, and other things directly into the seed. So no longer do we just have to be worried about the contamination on the outside of the plant. Now it's actually genetically modified into the seed, and this is so that the plant doesn't die when it's sprayed with herbicides. You cannot genetically alter a seed with a poisonous chemical and expect the people, animals, creatures, and everything that would eat it wouldn't get sick. So this is just the education that most people are unfamiliar with. Not only that, Monsanto's owned by Bayer. I mean, it's coming down from the high ranks all the way down to our dinner plates, guys. So that is just one of the general ways to understand what's actually happening to our seed supply. So every time you go out to the grocery store and you buy something that's not organic, you are literally just consuming a whole bunch of chemicals. Is the plant nutrition in there? Another thing about that is that if you grow plants in Miracle-Gro, can grow plants with as little as 3 to 5 minerals in their soil. When plants grow in the soil that is organic and that is just untainted from the earth, there's over 72 mineral compositions in that soil. So a tomato can look like a tomato, but if a tomato only has 3 of the 70 minerals that it should have in it, then is it really a tomato? The whole point of food is nutrients. The whole point of food is nutrition. It's not about how delicious it is. It's about how it sustains our life and keeps us alive healthily. So the toxins in our body are overrun because they are in our lives in every single level, and we are just not aware. So we're just going to get to this list here of some chemicals, and you're going to see these on all the things that you eat. They're on all the packages, and most people don't even look. I know before I ever really got into this that I never actually looked at what was on the back of the package. You know what I mean? When I tell people that want to lose weight and feel better, I say count your chemicals, not your calories, all day long. If there's something on the back of that label that you don't know, if there's a word you can't pronounce, your body can't pronounce it, your body doesn't know what it means, and your body doesn't know what to do with it. So therefore it becomes a toxin inside your body. So sodium nitrate is the first one. Okay, guys, sodium nitrate's just about in everything, and it's the number 1, sodium nitrate. Added to processed meats, stop bacterial growth, linked to cancer in humans. So this is why when I do buy meats for my children, lunch meats, I think that they're nitrate free. They're nitrate free, they're unprocessed. This is how we try to avoid some of this type of chemical. Sulfites, they are sulfites, azodicarbonamide, and it's used in bagels and buns and can cause asthma. If I'm correct, azodicarbonate might be that one ingredient that they use to put out fires in homes. Sometimes my brain confuses things, but there are chemicals in our food that they use to put in the floors of houses to stop fires. Potassium bromate leads to breast cancer, linked to cancer in humans. And some of these, I'm going to be honest with you, as much as I study toxins, I can't even pronounce them. So you got some propyl gallate. It's added to fat products, linked to cancer. BHA and BHT, a fat preservative, linked to cancerous tumor growth. Propylene glycol, better known as antifreeze, thickens dairy products and salad dressings. Deemed generally safe by the FDA. I hope your antifreeze is delicious, guys. Butane, put in chicken nuggets to keep them tasting fresh. A known carcinogen, butane. I know a lot of people out there know what butane is. Monosodium glutamate. This is a big one, guys. MSG is in everything. This is why my children and I, we eat only a few places out, and we always are taking supplements. I typically prepare meals at home, but MSG, flavor enhancer that can cause headaches, linked to animal studies that cause nerve damage, heart problems, and seizures. MSG, guys. Stop eating out. Start cooking your meals because you're not preparing them with MSG. Disodium inosate, snack foods, contains MSG. Diosodium begins with a G, contains MSG. Enriched flour. We're going to have a whole long video on flour, guys. I'm going to have to pause this, and we're going to get into a few more minutes into the next video.